This is exactly right.
Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable.
From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra.
Each design moves with you from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold. Goodbye. The Hulu original series Furious is coming to Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus on July 27th.
Starring Emmy Rossum as Alice Black, Furious follows a rookie FBI agent on the hunt for Catherine, played by Lola Pettigrew, a mysterious and calculating female serial killer.
While Alice upholds justice, Catherine kills for it, terrorizing the rich and powerful men of New York in her pursuit of vengeance.
With secrets that change everything, Alice discovers there's a thin line between hunter and prey.
Watch the Hulu original series Furious on July 27th.
Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Goodbye.
Sometimes the hardest part of therapy is just getting started.
For real, which is why having help that's flexible, accessible, and easy to fit into your life matters.
And that's exactly what Talkspace is designed for.
Talkspace therapy and psychiatry is covered by most insurers, and most insured members pay a copay of $0.
Part of the mission of Talkspace is to provide quality care that is accessible and affordable, whether or not you're insured.
Talkspace has really made it just a kind of no-brainer to try therapy. If you're nervous about talking to someone, if you're nervous about the money, if you're nervous about leaving the house, you don't have to deal with any of that. They have covered it. And for me, like, that is the best way to get into therapy. Take all the what ifs out.
You know you got to do it.
You know you do.
As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $80 off of your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/MFM and enter promo code SPACE80.
That's SPACE80. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/MFM and enter promo code SPACE80. Goodbye.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome
To my favorite murder.
Goodbye.
That's not how we
That
do
was
it.
it. Boom. Third time's a charm.
Oh, man.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Have my favorite murder. Oh.
What if I do sound effects pouring water right now?
Wow. That's an aggressive water pour.
Thanks. Wait, what about this one?
That's another aggressive
They
one
do
in
in restaurants.
in a glass that no one even wants to drink.
Why not? Yes, you do.
You're spilling it everywhere.
You drink this water, Steven.
She's trying to be fancy by going up and down while pouring, and it's just splashing all over the place. Stop it. This is a true crime podcast.
And welcome.
Do you have anything this week?
I have a couple things to chit chat about. What do you have? Business you'd like to get
No,
to?
I drew a heart on my paper because I have nothing to talk about.
Well, Valentine's Day is coming up.
Right
everybody.
around the corner.
Start working on those Valentines you're going to send out. Do you, when you back when you were single, just an incredible amount of dog hair on my sweater right now.
Good.
Didn't even do a pass on it before I left the house.
This is like, I almost came in my pajamas.
I might as well.
We like go from our car to here and go back home. Or I do at least.
Steven's the only one that ever sees us.
That's right. And each other.
And each other. I was going to ask you if that every year when you were single, did you get excited about Valentine's Day as a single person? Do you remember the experience of
Yes, because my friends were usually single too. So I'll go out or whatever.
And did you ever have a Valentine's Day hookup?
No, but I met a future ex-fiance on Valentine's Day.
Yep. Same with me. That's the first date I ever went on with my ex was on Valentine's Day.
Oh, wow. That's bold.
But it wasn't planned that way. It kind of like led up to, and then it's like, well, do you want to go to this thing on Friday?
Yeah.
And I don't know if either of us I certainly didn't realize it was Valentine's Day.
Sure.
And then I was kind of like, wow, this is a scam because it's just like any other night. Even when I'm on this date I'm excited about.
Right.
It's still just regular life.
Yeah. So what are you going to do for Valentine's Day this year? Is it a Tuesday? I'll record on Valentine's Day hard.
That would help me a lot.
We don't fucking, even as a not single person, we don't really do anything for Valentine's Day. It's obnoxious.
It's a scam.
It's obnoxious. It's a Friday, but I'll record that day. I don't give a shit.
It's, thank you. That's very We'll do minis that day.
Yeah.
But they'll take forever.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just like it's New Year's-y in that way where you're set up to fail. You'll be disappointed by nothing.
Expectations.
Very few people, except for like super goofy 13-year-old like boys in the drama department, are the only ones really giving Valentines to anybody in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
I think most people are kind of like, romance is dead.
Yeah.
Could I even say it?
Yeah.
At least it is for me.
Give me chocolates and flowers on every other day of the year except for Valentine's Day.
I mean, I feel like also in this day and age, Valentine's Day was upended by social media where every day is Valentine's Day if you want it to be and you're willing to like slide into someone's DMs.
Sure.
You can send a little Valentine simply by acting like you want to talk to somebody. You know what I mean? And whatever the context.
Valentine's Day every day is Karen's message to you.
DMs are closed.
What do you have? What else do you have?
Just that I'm going to give the outsider report. First of all, I'm loving the fact you've got an opinion this week?
No, go. Yes, go.
Okay. I'm loving the fact that I've read multiple media outlets calling it The Outsiders. Like it's the movie from 1983. It makes me laugh so hard. It's okay, like, yes, see, Thomas Howell is back. So this TV show is called The Outsider singular. Mm-hmm. It's not about a band of ragtag boys who live on the bad side of town fighting socias. It's, and this most recent one that I watched, all of a sudden the Stephen Kinginess of it all came into it. And I was like, oh, but it was really believable and cool and not, the giant spider queen that lives in the sewer type of shit.
You have a corrections corner from last week.
Do I?
Yeah.
Is it about Cameron Britton?
It's not Cameron Britton.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because when I just was listening, that was a mini-sode, right?
No.
It was
Steven's
the mini.
Nodding. Yes.
Yeah.
It was the mini because we were talking about the haunted house, Ed Kemper's house being haunted.
Right.
What's funny is I was just listening to that little part on my drive over, and the way I'm going, he's such a good actor. It doesn't look like him. It's way shorter than him. His voice sounds different. And I was like listening to it going,
it's like almost a different person.
It's like it's a different person. It's like, cause it is. That's how much I believe in Cameron Britton. I want to get the word out. I think he could do that.
He's a great character actor.
He can do whatever he wants. He has range. He could be
a totally different person if he wants to be.
He could be a completely different talented actor. Do you know what that actor's name is?
No, but we should give him Stephen, can you look it up? Meanwhile, here's my
take. Good luck. The correct therapist actor.
On The Outsider.
Singular.
Boring over it.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking boring.
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand what you like. Because I feel like that's what you say about it. What do you like?
I don't know. I couldn't even get through Cheer. Not Cheers.
I love Cheers. I love every season.
Not the Cheers.
Albania.
The Cheer.
Albania. That's the one about cheerleading.
Yeah.
Cheerleading.
And everyone's obsessed with it. Thought it was boring.
I feel like the phrase everyone is obsessed with it is my indicator I won't like it.
The Herky guy is on it. The guy who invented the Herky.
Is his last name Herky?
It's like Herculum or something.
Nerds! Is George Bush Jr. in it? He is a big cheerleader.
Oh, yeah. No, I think you would actually really like it. To me, it just stressed me out a lot. It was too, there's too many expectations and there's too many people who have like their fucking entire heart and mind on the line and body.
I feel like I've been shown the Cheer show all my life to show how I can't be thrown in the air 2 stories. Therefore, I'm not good enough. And I'm tired of it.
You could be some of them are flyers that fly up in the air and those are the little ones. Some are tumblers. And some are the ones that hold the other ones. And they need those just as much as those.
I don't want to hold some small girl. Someone hold me, motherfuckers. That's
all she wants for Valentine's Day, to bring it back.
I want to do an aerial, a triple Lutz Lundy in the air, and then have some George Bush looking motherfucker catch me.
Okay.
So no to Cheer. You're saying no to The Outsider.
Okay.
Boring. It's very slowly paced.
Yeah.
But have you gotten to the part where there's the new investigator? Because she is quite something.
Maybe not, but I don't like the guy in it who was played by Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn.
I don't like him.
he fucked up royally.
Real bad.
And got someone fucking killed. No spoilers. And now he's like
Total
trying
spoiler.
well, someone dies. I'm not telling you who it is. And now is like, has this like, oh, I have to fix this. And it's
Right.
like, can you just leave it alone and let everyone else take care of it? Because you fucked it up already.
Yeah, there's not
like he's
enough-
supposed to be the good guy when I think he's a piece of shit.
Yes, for sure. There's not enough people. And they're the lawyer that played the detective in The Night of, when we talked about that, which I was right about. But that guy does try to hold his feet to the fire, but they only do it for like 2 lines.
I just hate that he's supposed to be this like, what's the word? Character. Like sad.
The protagonist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. You're like, yeah, no.
Let's see. Yeah. Don't like it.
Okay. Look, we're still at the point where we're giving our actual opinions on the show, which I think that in and of itself is valid and legit because
as my pen says,
get to
fuck you. Not a great pen. It's this like kind of nice pen with gold and black and in really great block letters that just says fuck you on it.
Thank you so much, all our listeners who give us gifts constantly.
Definitely given to me by a murderino.
That's a classic,
isn't it? All right.
Should I reach back into the pen thing and just see what the pen I grabbed says?
Oh, Bic.
Right.
What does that mean? That's the new insult.
Well, you fucking Bic. Yeah. Bic. Paper profile. What's up?
Promo code murder.
Yeah, I don't think we have that much business. We're back. We're back into the making of this show in the constant way.
Yeah.
No, we're not on tour. No breaks. So now we're just doing it on the weekly.
Yeah, I have no idea from week to week what murder I'm going to do. Please continue to. We should have Denton put a tab on the website where you can suggest a murder, and then they just send them. He sends them directly to us. Because I need help.
So you need them from 6 sources now? The fan forum, the Gmail.
They get lost in there. They get lost.
No, we're getting them. Okay. I mean, we thank you to everyone who's been sending them. I've been getting tweets of them. I've been getting a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had to go it alone this week. So.
Oh, you're never alone. I tell you that Jesus is with you, and you don't listen.
And I say no thanks. You're drinking both glasses of water.
Oh, well, you said you didn't want it. I better get 2 coasters. I had to do my funny comedy water pour, and now there's so much water.
You got to hydrate. I think you're first this week.
Yeah. Oh, Stephen, were you able to? Too hard to find that actor's name?
No, it was a lot of just like, this character sees the therapist.
Yeah.
No listing of the name.
Poor guy.
Well, then it could be. You don't know it's not Cameron Britton. We're going back.
Uncredited cameo.
Yeah. He did it as a favor to a friend. As a Valentine to the director.
It was an Easter egg for murderinos.
I caught it and I win. It's like we live in a culture now where everything is either supposed to be proven incorrect, false, or like Easter egg style, like, were you watching?
Did you notice the crown of thorns on the...
That's what everything is. So it's like I think I feel the pressure to have to prove that I'm a super fan by being like, I'm the one that recognized Carrie Coon when it actually was not her playing both parts. That was a classic Fargo mistake that I made.
That's right.
And can you believe the star turned by Carrie Coon?
I feel like you're at 98% correct, though, so that's not bad.
It's just if I wouldn't keep making those crazy reaches, I would be doing even better.
Sure.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace.
Every successful small business starts with someone saying, I wonder if people would actually buy this.
Squarespace gives you everything you need to find out.
From consultations to events and experiences, you can showcase your skills with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business.
With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a beautiful, professional online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business.
Get paid on time with professional invoices and online payments. Plus, streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools.
Head to squarespace.com/murder for a free trial.
And when you're ready to launch, use offer code MURDER to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Goodbye.
You know your favorite summer clothes by what actually makes it into your suitcase.
Find the outfits you'll wear all season long at Quince.
Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces you'll reach for all summer long. They're lightweight, effortless to style, and they start at just $32.
Their denim is soft and comfortable, and their organic cotton sweaters are perfect for layering when evenings get cold.
Quince's beautiful 14-karat gold jewelry adds a subtle finishing touch.
So I just went to Italy, and you bet I brought my 100% European linen scoop neck midi dress along with me in the color of floral waterfall, and I wore that thing all over Italy. It was like the perfect day to night. It just looked so pretty, and I felt like I looked sophisticated while still being comfortable.
Make your summer wardrobe feel easier.
Head to quince.com/MFM for free shipping and 365-day returns.
Go to QUINCE.com/MFM for free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/MFM.
Goodbye.
Every piece of furniture you own has a story.
Sometimes it's an heirloom, and sometimes it came with the house because it was too heavy to move.
If you're ready to start a new chapter with your home decor, there's Article.
Article makes it effortless to create a stylish, long-lasting home at an unbeatable price.
They take great care in curating their collection, focusing on pieces that stand the test of time.
We've talked about Article for a long time. There are pieces in that catalog that are so affordable that are room changers. And if you go through there and there's like a little something you don't even realize you need it until you see how they have stuff set up or what style combinations that they're doing, where they do the boho chic, there's mid-century, it's a little bit modern, it's something new. Like there's so many choices in there, and it's not going to break the bank.
As someone who's interested in tons of different styles and time periods, Article covers them all in one place. I love that.
I know I've mentioned already how much I love my entryway table, but I swear to God, because the path that it's on, I pass it 4 times a day, and I love it more every time.
Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
To claim, visit article.com/murder, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout.
That's article.com/murder for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Goodbye.
So this was a suggestion that came through from the fan forum.
Awesome.
In your face, Georgia.
It's already happening. Get over it.
This was suggested by Sherry, and I thought we'd already done it. So Jay found it for me and was going to do the research. And then I was like, no, Georgia did it. I'm positive. I know. And then he's like, I have checked 3 things. I think he actually may have even checked with Stephen.
Really?
Because I wouldn't have it. And then I realized I was going to do this story the last time we did Chicago, which was a very, like 2018.
Hold on. My story's Chicago too. Go on.
Laurie, Dan?
No.
God, 4 years and we still haven't done it. We still haven't done it.
Okay.
I was going to do the story in Chicago, but it was a live show and it's so dark and rough. But there's a great spin on it because I had found this article that was written in the Chicago Tribune by a writer named Eric Zorn for the 30th anniversary of this terrible tragedy taking place. And he wrote the story from the point of view of one of the children that was there that day, who is now in his 30s and an adult and tells his own story.
So what is it?
It's the Laurie, Dan, and the Winnetka school shooting.
Oh, fuck.
Of 1988.
I don't think I know this one.
It is very similar to the I Don't Like Monday school shooter that you did.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name offhand, but it's another female, that was a teenager that shot up that school. So I think it's because it was so similar to that I was like, I'm positive Georgia did this one because I keep thinking of that one that you did. So Sherry suggested it in the fan cult. And then, so it's a 2018 Chicago Tribune article from a writer named Eric Zorn, but then also it's Wikipedia and of course Murderpedia that has the comprehensive. So this takes place May 20th, 1988. So 8-year-old Peter Monroe is sitting in his 2nd grade classroom at Hubbard Woods Elementary School in the wealthy North Shore suburb of Winnetka, Illinois. And he's super excited because today is bike test day. And what that means is when you're in the 2nd grade, you go to school and then outside you go and take a bike safety test, like a driving test. And then if you pass that and then you go inside and take the written test, this is just like driving.
Yeah.
If you pass both those tests, you get to ride your bike to school by yourself.
Oh.
And he was so
like a rite of passage.
Yes. And also it's such a smart thing to do back then.
Yeah.
When it's like, well, you want to do this, but we have to make sure you know the rules and you basically keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
So they set this whole thing up. And Peter was super excited, even though he lived across the street from the school.
That's adorable.
It's the cutest. So they had already been outside. They did the bike test outside. He passed that. Now he's inside. They're taking the written test. And all the kids hear a commotion. And basically, the next thing Peter knows, he's on the ground and then everything goes black. When he comes to, he's crawling down an empty hallway, the school hallway by himself with an intense pain in his hand. And then when he looks down at his hand, he sees it's covered in blood. And then when he looks closer, he realizes there's a hole in his hand.
Oh my God.
And he's really scared. He's really confused. He's in pain. He thinks it's maybe a safety drill. And then he also, it flashes through his head that maybe this idea that the school janitor, who he very much likes and respects, came into the classroom and shot him with a fake gun, like a safety drill.
Yeah.
Like he can't put it together.
Yeah.
He starts to feel cold and tired. And then he looks up and he sees an adult step into the hallway and he sees a terrified look on the adult's face as the adult looks at him. The adult picks him, scoops him up, brings him into a first grade classroom. All the kids are staring at Peter. He just wants them to stop looking at him. All of a sudden, he just wants his mom. He starts crying. And the next thing he knows, he's back in his second grade classroom and the paramedics are running through the door at him and they surround him and he's like, okay, great. Finally, they're going to fix this hole in my hand. But they instead all start concentrating on his stomach and he doesn't understand because his stomach feels cold and numb, but there's nothing wrong with his stomach. And then he realizes that there is something wrong with his stomach and he loses consciousness again.
Oh my God.
And when he wakes up, he's in an ambulance. The paramedics are talking to him. He tells them he's cold and he's really tired and he just wants to go to sleep. The paramedic says, you cannot go to sleep. Keep talking to me. But he goes to sleep anyway. And when he wakes up, he's in the hospital. There are tubes coming out of his stomach and there are tubes going up into his nose. And he sees all these bandages that are on his stomach. And later on, when the bandages are pulled off, he'll see staples covering the stomach where his stomach was basically being held together because it had been blown open.
God.
His parents are there. They explain to him what happened. They tell him a mentally ill woman came into his school and shot up his classroom and his classmates. And that woman's name was Laurie Dann. Okay, so we'll start with Laurie's early life. She's born in Chicago on October 18th, 1957. She grows up in Glencoe. She's the only child of an accountant father, and a housemaker mother, and she is a shy and withdrawn child. So it's not that much is known that I know about her childhood, but I think this is a very indicative thing. Is when she's older, her parents offer to pay to get her plastic surgery, which apparently helps boost her confidence. But it's a little bit about like this is how you deal with a shy and withdrawn child, which is a little bit upsetting. Laurie isn't a very good student in high school. She does manage to graduate from high school in Winnetka in 1975, and she goes on to attend Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa, where she is equally unsuccessful, but she wasn't really there to get an education. Her plan was just to meet a rich man and get married.
The Mrs. degree.
Yeah.
MRS degree?
MRS, yeah. So it doesn't happen for her at Drake. So she basically gets her grades up so she can transfer to the University of Arizona because that's where all the good men are.
Yes.
If you want to get married, you go to University of Arizona. And then if you want to party, you go to the ASU. And then now I'd like to remind everyone of still my favorite Twitter bio that I've ever read is don't be a fake bitch and you can party with me at ASU. Remember that one?
No.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yes. I can't remember. It was like some girl that made a comment on something and then I looked at her bio and that was her Twitter bio and it's real.
Amen.
Yeah. Don't be a fake bitch and you can party with me at ASU.
Fill in the blank of ASU, whatever is going on in your life.
ASU is like the Arizona State University of life.
That's right.
That's me in a nutshell. That is my real bio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick of fake bitches. Okay. So her new plan is she's going to become a teacher. So at University of Arizona. So she actually starts focusing on that and soon she meets a pre-med student and then they start dating, which is how it works. Focus on yourself.
My mom's friend in college, it was like the 60s or 70s or whatever. She got a job in the medical library so she could meet a doctor to marry.
Did it work?
It sure did.
I know I'm not like the others, but I have never, of all the things I've obsessed about in what I wanted and what I wanted to do, marriage was never on the, it's like, be famous, take over, do this, do that. It was like that idea. I just don't relate to it.
We're a new breed. My mom was always like, just marry well, you'll appreciate it. Did you see that one interview with Cher? Where
you'll appreciate it.
Cher goes, someone interviews her, or she goes, my mom always said I should marry a rich man. And I said to her, Mom, I am a rich man.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. My dad used to say, he would watch things on the news and say, you better marry a doctor. And my mom was like, bullshit, become a doctor.
Yeah.
And I was like, how about I become a drug addict and a stand-up comedian? Would that work for everybody?
A podcaster, man.
Is that like a doctor for you?
Podcasters are the new doctor.
Right. Okay, so Laurie in 1977 transfers then to University of Wisconsin at Madison. And although she and her boyfriend are still dating, Laurie, the longer they go out, Laurie gets more and more possessive and kind of erratic in her behavior. So they end up breaking up in 1980. They go out for kind of a while, but it falls apart. And I think that too is a little bit indicative. The thing of moving, it's just like, just keep on moving colleges. That'll do it. Just keep getting away from your whatever's going on with you and the problems that are coming up. You just keep starting over. Yeah. So after the breakup, she moves back in with her parents and she starts taking classes at Northwestern to try to finish her degree, but she never graduates. So while she lives at home, she gets a summer job as a cocktail waitress at Green Acres Country Club in Northbrook.
Pointed at me when you said cocktail waitress.
Because it made me think of the medical library.
Oh.
Because basically I think that's a good way to meet people. Because
smart.
That's where she meets an executive in an insurance brokerage firm named Russell Dann, and the two hit it off. He's from a wealthy Highland Park family, and basically he's everything Laurie dreamed of, a sentient wallet with 2 cartoon legs, I wrote. Jesus. But I mean, that's what it seems like and sounds like.
Yeah.
They get married in September of 1982, and they move into a beautiful home in Highland Park, but Laurie's behavior becomes more and more erratic and strange. Even though it's been her dream to get married, she shows no interest in this new house that he buys for her. She doesn't try to decorate it. She never cleans it. Instead, she sits in front of the TV for hours and hours. Let's not judge. When she does do the laundry, this is such a strange detail. She folds the clothes while they're still soaking wet and puts them wet clothes into the drawer, leaving them to mold. So
that is like such a weird little detail that you think everything's normal around here, la la la, and then that happens and you're like, oh fuck.
Also, it's a specific thing. Like, I have a real fear of moldy towels and moldy, like, leaving stuff. Because I always forget that I washed something and then the next day I'm like, ugh, and I have to wash it again.
Yeah.
So that idea that she's just kind of like, whatever, here's what you want me to do, like skipping the drying altogether.
Does the mold grow that fast? Because I don't do that.
You don't do what?
Well, if I forgot it for the day, I'll just throw it in the dryer.
You know what? That just to your taste of if you can smell it or not.
Okay.
And it'll come out the next time you wash it. But I mean, if you put it in soaking wet.
No, that's
so
that's a telltale sign of something.
So flags are popping up.
That's right.
She also is very careless with money, literally, like throwing dollar bills in the backseat of the car like it's trash. It's just kind of like nothing is real. Russell loves Laurie, but he slowly realizes there's something really wrong with her and he's not equipped to help her. So they separate in October of 1985. So he gets an apartment for himself. Laurie moves back in with her parents, and then a bitter divorce battle ensues. Laurie claims that Russell was abusive to her. He starts receiving threatening phone calls. He says Laurie's the one behind it. She denies it. So it's very he said, she said in the beginning. I
feel like 80s divorces were particularly hardcore. Is that right?
I think because they were so new.
Yeah.
I remember a time where it was like late 70s, very early 80s. All of a sudden, everyone's parents got divorced, like all at once. And I kept, every day I would just say to my parents, so you're going to get divorced now? Like any slight bump.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, this is the new normal and everyone's doing it.
What if that saved their marriage, that you reminded them that the other one could do it? So be nice to each other.
They owe me. They both owe me. I also think it would just be so, like a lot of those stories where it was like suddenly one of the parents, it was often the father, but it'd be like, oh, I just need a new version. I just need a younger, new version. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it'd be like, I have a friend whose dad married a girl that was a couple years older than him, like went to his high school. Like, how gross.
What do you mean? Was a couple? Oh, it was a couple years. I thought you meant the dad. Ew. A couple years older than the son.
Parents got divorced, and then say 10 years later, his dad's like, here's my new fiance, and it's a girl that was like a senior when he was a freshman. Stuff like that where you're just kind of like, now I just think you're gross. Yeah. Like, you can go do you and live for your own life and be happy, but there is an impact.
Sure.
Dang.
Look at me. I'm a podcaster.
Look at the impact. But your mom just recently got remarried, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, neither of them ever date. I mean, they dated, it sucked, but neither of them got remarried until very recently.
Until recently.
Which I'm glad.
Okay, so Laurie's living at home with her parents. Her behavior gets more and more bizarre. She's obsessed with personal hygiene. She washes her hands compulsively. She won't let anyone touch her for fear of germs. And this is the kind of thing where this is now her parents' adult daughter, so they can only they're like, when these things the behaviors start getting more and more pronounced, they ask her to check into hospitals and she just won't do it. The answer is always no.
Yeah.
In April of 1986, Laurie claims that Russell broke into her parents' house where she was living and vandalized it. There's no proof of that, but she uses that incident to justify buying a Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum for self-defense. The police get involved because they know Laurie's history so far, and both the police and her parents try to convince her to get rid of the gun, but she won't do it. In August of 86, Laurie starts making harassing phone calls to the ex-boyfriend that she dated, the med student.
Oh, wow.
Who's now a resident at a hospital in Tucson. She tells him she gave birth to his child, which he knows isn't true because they haven't seen each other in 5 years. Yeah. When he says he doesn't believe her about the birth of their child, she calls the hospital that he's working at as a resident and tells them he raped her in the emergency room.
Oh my God.
So she goes to fucking DEFCON 1, like immediately. And so she starts also sending him letters. She continues the phone calls. And then she begins to include death threats to him and his family in the calls and the letters. Finally, the ex-boyfriend's lawyer sends Laurie's parents a letter telling them they need to control Laurie. And that's when she finally stops harassing him. In September of 1986, so the same year, a month later, she stops harassing the ex-boyfriend. And then her ex-husband, Russell, reports being stabbed with an ice pick while he was sleeping one night. And the ice pick missed his heart by an inch.
Oh my God.
So he survives. He tells the police he didn't get a good look at the attacker, but he knows it's Laurie.
Yeah.
The police can't find any witnesses who saw Laurie or anyone else enter or leave Russell's apartment that night. But they do find a store clerk who witnessed Laurie buying an ice pick.
Oh my God.
But that's the only piece of evidence that they have to prove that she was the attacker.
Sounds like a good piece of evidence.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. But when they give Russell a polygraph test, he fails it. So they just have no choice but to let Laurie go.
Aye.
Because it's circumstantial evidence that she bought an ice pick. I guess you would use an ice pick more often in the Midwest because it snows there. Do you use ice picks? Is it only ice like social drinks ice for ice picks?
Know.
Or do you use ice picks
like
out
on your
in the
windshield
snow?
And shit?
It's not on your windshield.
Oh.
I cracked another windshield this morning. I was late for work.
I've only lived in Southern California. I have no fucking clue how that shit works.
I do know that sometimes they use like just the rubber part of the squeegee.
Right. And then like, I know there's like, it looks like a, spatula.
Yeah. Like the chipper thing.
Spatula City.
Can you imagine living in like a place where it fucking there's places right now.
Yeah.
in like that have so much snow right now, like snow piled up.
Yeah. Guys, we're sorry for you.
Guys, it's like we can't relate.
It was like a cute 67 degrees today.
And they're like huddled around a fire burning in the middle of the room. For some reason, they don't have a fireplace because it's the Midwest. Talking about. Okay.
They're huddled up by the podcast player.
Their wireless speaker that they're all rubbing their hands over, trying to get some warmth.
And they're all watching the wireless speaker because that's what you do. It's just an automatic thing.
You just stare at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's January 1987. Laurie starts working babysitting jobs.
Oh, no.
Just a quick update. She's 30.
Okay.
So, which is not like you can't. That's probably when you get really good at babysitting.
Yeah.
I think being a teenager, you're the worst at it.
Yeah.
But clearly she's just trying to, I think, hold on to some semblance of normal life and behavior. So a woman hires her, and to her, Laurie seems nice. Like she's just kind of shy. And the woman even recommends Laurie to other families.
Huh.
And so Laurie begins babysitting for a bunch of people. And it kind of seems like she's pulling it together. Then the trouble starts. These families start noticing their leather sofas have been slashed.
What?
And that their rugs have been cut. And that their closed food and garage door openers are going missing.
The fuck?
Some report these incidents to the police, but again, only circumstantial evidence. There's no proof she's the one that did it. No charges are filed. In one case, Laurie's dad paid off the damages, so the issue would just be forgotten.
No.
So again, red flags and Laurie sending up these red flags of behavior like I can't be in normal society.
Yeah.
And the slashing of things, like the cutting and slashing is
of things that are like going to point to you clearly, like you're going to get caught for these things,
right?
It's clearly you, and you still can't help but do it.
And maybe that's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
So in April of 1987, just before their divorce is finalized, Laurie accuses Russell of raping her. So this is third rape allegation. He denies it. There's no physical evidence, but Laurie passes 2 lie detector tests.
Wow.
Yeah. She also accuses Russell of trying to burn her house down in May of 1987. No evidence of that, obviously. She doesn't file charges against him for that. She starts seeing a psychiatrist who diagnoses her with OCD and a, quote, chemical imbalance. He puts her on drugs for those things, but he tells police she's not a homicidal or suicidal threat. Okay. So Laurie's divorce is finalized in the summer of 1987. So I guess the idea is she should go back, like restart her adult life and go back to school. So her father sublets an apartment for her on the Northwestern campus. So it's like student housing. She's quickly asked to leave because reports roll in of her leaving meat in her couch cushions to rot.
Wow.
And so it's stinking up her apartment.
Yeah.
And there's other accusations that she was stuffing the other students' mailboxes with trash.
It does sound OCD-ish.
OCD and maybe a touch of schizophrenia. I have an ex-boyfriend whose sister had a roommate who kind of had a nervous breakdown in college, which I think is kind of when it happens is when things are very stressful and you're like young, and also your brain is changing. The brain chemistry is changing a lot. And she said she was seeing meat coming out of the electrical sockets.
Whoa.
Like that, she was constantly trying to block them because she thought she could see that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that when that detail came up in the story, I was like, ooh, that's interesting. Yeah. That's like a thing.
A theme.
It's a theme. So in January of 1988, Laurie moves back to Madison. So she leaves town again, tries it again at the University of Wisconsin. She starts taking classes. She enrolls in classes. She never actually makes it to school. Instead, she just lives in the student housing as a recluse. She becomes known as the elevator lady because she spends hours and hours every day riding up and down the elevator. And at this point, she's obsessed with good and bad numbers. She's really locked into, it sounds like, some bad OCD shit. And some ritualistic behavior of I have to do these things or whatever.
Oh my God.
And She always wears gloves. She walks around naked a lot, and all the trash and rotting meat in her apartment it just is crazy.
Yeah.
So the March of that year, she's arrested for shoplifting. She's released on a $200 bond, and they accept her into the first time offenders program, which is kind of amazing considering this past she had with her ex-husband and all those accusations and all that she's not new to police action,
right?
Or getting in trouble. But her being in this first time offenders program helps her avoid jail time. Later that month, one of the apartments in her apartment building is set on fire. Oh. Everyone knows that the elevator lady did it, but there's no evidence that she's involved. So, in April of 1988, she starts up the threatening phone calls to her ex in Tucson again, which that part is like, we all have the ex you can't let go of. God. You just kind of go back to like,
yeah, but we don't.
Yeah, you don't literally go back. But it's like watching a person. She doesn't have any of the capabilities to cope. She clearly has displayed like pretty severe mental illness that's maybe untreated specifically.
Like
So she's just kind of doing these things that like we all have the impulse to do and then are able to control her. It just, that part of it makes me sad for anybody that's in that position where you just kind of like can't help it.
Yeah.
So threatening phone calls. And this time the FBI gets involved immediately. They find out Laurie owns 3 guns. They can't confiscate them because she acquired them legally. And her dad, when they talk to the family, her dad backs her up saying that she does need them for self-protection against her ex-husband. Yeah. So on May 14th, 1988, a student who lives in the same building as Laurie comes back to his apartment to find all of his clothes and books destroyed. She's suspected. She's nowhere to be found. That night, an RA finds Laurie in the garbage room of the building, naked and asleep on a pile of trash.
Oh my God.
So there's an issue with nudity, garbage, meat, elevators, destroying things, slashing things, and setting things on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. When the FBI comes the next day to question her about that attack on that student's stuff, she's gone. So 4 days later, Laurie shows up at the home of the original family she used to babysit for. They tell her, "Oh, we're moving to New York, so we don't need you to babysit anymore, actually." Yeah. And she's like, "Okay, that's cool. Is it okay if I come by tomorrow and bring the 2 boys to the fair?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, that sounds great." Because they have no idea what's going on in her life. Yeah. And it sounds to me, this is an assumption, obviously, and just editorializing, but if it's in kind of this wealthy part of the suburbs of Chicago, which is like, I'm pretty sure Winnetka or like that area, that's like the Ferris Bueller. That's where all of those John Hughes movies were filmed. Yeah. Big old houses, big old lawns, like rich people, dads that work in the city. I bet you saving face and not, like the idea of having a mentally ill child was completely taboo.
Right.
And like made them this, like, you know, people
outcast family.
Yeah. Or just at least the gossiped about. Yeah. So keeping a lid on that and keeping all of that, like the stories about that, saving face for them and putting everybody else at risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just horrifying. So, of course, the family's like, sure, you can take our 2 young sons to the fair tomorrow. So Laurie shows up the next day, which is May 20th, 1988. And she picks up their 2 boys, and she's brought them homemade Rice Krispie treats and milk and juice to have in the car. But when the kids taste the milk, it tastes super weird to them. And so when Laurie isn't looking, they throw it away.
Okay.
And they don't eat the treats. Turns out Laurie also mailed these treats to some of the other families she babysat for, as well as fraternity houses on the Northwestern campus. But they all smelled so bad and looked so suspicious that almost no one ate any of it. And later, of course, they were all tested positive for arsenic.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, with the boys in the car and supposedly on the way to the fair, Laurie first makes a stop at Ravenna School, where she incorrectly believes her sister-in-law, who's Russell's sister's children, go to that school.
Okay.
she walks in and tries to detonate a firebomb in the hallway of this school.
What the fuck?
But she essentially, it's like she has a bag of, I think in that one she had it's something that was like a bag of gas. So she lit it and walked away. And basically some students came out into the hallway and were like, there's a fire. A teacher comes and puts it out and it all goes away. Then she heads over to a daycare center where the youngest child of this sister-in-law either did go or she believed went. And she tried to walk into this daycare center holding a can of gasoline.
What?
And at the entrance, there's a worker that's like, hey, get the fuck out of here with your gas.
Right.
And so then she is denied entrance and walks away. She drops the boys back off at home.
Oh, good.
Doesn't take them to the fair. Doesn't even try to take them to the fair. But before she leaves the family home, she sets fire to the family's basement staircase.
Whoa.
So she sets it on fire, leaves. The family discovers that they're able to get out of the house in time. So everyone from that family is safe.
Okay.
And now Laurie heads toward Hubbard Woods Elementary School, and she's armed with 3 handguns.
Oh my God.
So she walks onto the Hubbard Woods school grounds, and she walks into a classroom and just wanders around a little bit and walks back out. So this was the late 80s when there was, these days you can barely get near a school without everybody being like, excuse me, I need 3 pieces of ID of why you're here now. And most of the time, if you're going to go, like when I go to pick up Nora, or like when she was younger, especially, my sister would have to call her school and say, my sister is coming to get her.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how almost every school works these days. So, but not back then. So Laurie's able to walk onto the school campus, walk into a classroom, walk around, walk back out. When she gets back out into the hallway, she sees a boy in the hallway. She pushes him into the boys' bathroom and shoots him. And then she turns and there's 2 other boys standing in the bathroom watching that. She aims the gun at them and pulls, and the gun jams.
Oh my God.
And so she doesn't shoot those 2 boys. She throws that gun into the garbage can, and then she walks out and walks over into Peter Monroe's 2nd grade classroom. And she tells the teacher she's there to teach the kids about gun safety. And she orders all the kids to get into one corner. But the teacher won't do what she says, isn't following her directions. It's like, what the hell are you doing? And that's when Laurie Dann pulls out a gun. So the teacher immediately tries to wrestle it out of her hand and actually successfully does.
Wow.
And she takes the gun, gets the gun away. And as she's unloading it, Laurie pulls out her final gun and opens fire on the children in the classroom.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The teacher is a fucking hero.
That teacher is a fucking champion, but I'm sure I'm assuming it's a she.
Yeah.
She also beats herself up for assuming that this lunatic only had one gun on her. That's such a heartbreaking moment of she was thinking, I got it away and now we're okay.
Yeah.
So, including Peter Monroe, 6 children are shot, 5 of them critically injured, and a 6th boy, a very smart and well-liked 8-year-old named Nicholas Corwin, is killed.
Oh my God.
So after that, Laurie flees the scene in her car, but then she actually turns down a street and gets caught. The street has become a one-way street because there's a funeral caravan. What's that called?
Procession.
Thank you. A funeral procession is coming the other way. So she throws it into reverse to try to pull a Chaz Palminteri and drive backwards up the street. Crashes into a tree. Gets out of the car and just starts walking through the woods.
What?
Okay. And then she soon comes upon a house, just a random house, and walks inside. And now we go to the hometown email from a woman named Gemma. Yes. Hello, ladies, Stephen and co. I'll get right into it.
Yes, you will.
One day I was chatting with my mom about how all my uncles, her brothers, met their wives, and somehow she revealed to me an amazing I survived worthy story of a family friend that involves the 1988 case of Laurie Dann.
Holy shit.
I'm not sure if both of you are familiar with the story, and I'm not going to lie, it's a bummer. Mostly because if this woman had just gotten the mental help she needed, none of this would have happened. Also, definitely a story that my 6th grade teacher told the entire class, probably contributing to my chronic anxiety.
Yeah.
Then she recaps the story that I've just told you. So basically, we start with where I ended. After the shooting, she wandered into the home of one of my uncle's good friends, Phil Andrew, who was home from college at the time. He was 20 years old. He was sitting in the kitchen with his mother that morning before Laurie barged in, still armed, telling them that she had been raped and had shot her attacker. Phil and his parents, having no idea what had just happened 2 blocks away at the grammar school, negotiated with her for about an hour and a half. Phil eventually convinced her to let his parents go.
So she's holding them hostage?
Yeah, basically. She's like in the house saying she needs help, but clearly I think that all falls apart in about 5 seconds. So he basically, it takes him an hour and a half to convince her to let his parents go. And then afterwards, he tries to disarm her, but she shot him in the chest.
Oh my God.
He survives and ends up becoming a huge advocate for gun control.
Good.
He ended up becoming the executive director of the Illinois Council Against Handgun Violence before eventually becoming a hostage negotiator for the FBI.
Holy shit.
Here's where my mom gets to the point. Phil convinced my uncle to join the same organization after he had been held up at gunpoint at an L stop in Chicago. It was there that he met my aunt, who was just recently moved back to the city after her fiance had been shot and killed in an armed robbery in Ohio. They are now happily married.
Oh my God.
So these 2 young people met each other after coming from these horrible, violent experiences and then met and married.
At a gun control
meeting. My uncle has since gone on to become a state senator where he advocated for gun control and even helped pass legislation for it.
Amazing.
My whole life, my uncle has been truly supportive of me, and whenever things don't work out, he always says, everything happens for a reason. No matter how cheesy or cliche it sounds, I think it's important to remember that sometimes. Stay sexy and fight for what you believe in. Jenna.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, that's the story of Phil Andrew and the Andrew family, who miraculously survived being shot in the chest.
Yeah.
So basically, after shooting up a grammar school and then shooting Phil Andrew in the chest, Laurie knows the house is surrounded. So she walks upstairs into this family's bathroom and shoots herself, basically bringing her reign of terror to a equally violent end.
I feel like I say this so often, but how have I never heard of this?
Yeah. I know. It's just one of those shocking, I think it's one of those shocking explosion of violent stories that once people start looking at it, it's like, oh, this actually was unfolding for at least 10 years before it happened.
Yeah.
And also because it's a school shooting that had one victim, tragically an 8-year-old victim. But these days we hear about school shootings that have 20 victims and we go, oh, yeah, because it's now become this horrible fact of life.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the aftermath, Laurie Dann left no suicide note, no explanation. But it was clear that she was refusing to deal with severe mental illness.
Yeah.
She attempted to treat it and she was on some medication, but clearly she needed to be hospitalized. Yeah. Clearly she was in an extremely bad place. And no matter what her family said, no matter what anyone around her said, she refused to get help. After the shooting, the city of Winnetka named a park in memory of 8-year-old Nicholas Corwin, who was the one fatality miraculously in that shooting. Yeah. And although the other children were in critical condition for a while, they all recovered. Okay. So it was just Nicholas Corwin that was lost.
Poor
so
baby.
sad. And so, 8 years old.
So tragic.
It's horrible. So survivor Peter Monroe is now in his late 30s. He is a licensed clinical social worker doing God's work, and a staunch advocate for gun control. He still suffers from PTSD, and he's written a beautiful piece about the attack that you can read on www.livingaftertrauma.com. And his story is retold in Eric Zorn's amazing article that was written on the 30th anniversary of the attack for the Chicago Tribune. And one of my favorite quotes from it is Eric writes, "As we rage at the perpetrators and mourn the dead, we tend to forget the survivors." And then he basically goes on to tell Peter Monroe's whole story and his whole point of view of that day. And that is the tragic story of Laurie, Dann, and the Winnetka school shooting of 1988.
Wow. That is a mind fuck.
Yeah. Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. And there's lots of, when you look into the story yourself, it's like there's tons of detail about her, clearly really bad OCD problems and that kind of stuff where she was stuck. We just know so much about that part of it. And it's like the other side of it where it's just like second graders on bike test day.
Totally.
Like this, it's heavy and it's like a school shooting. So I was like starting to write it up that time we were doing that live show. And then I'm just like, sorry, what am I doing?
No, but you did a great job.
Thank you.
You did a great job.
There are some questions humanity may never be able to answer, like, what's the meaning of life?
Or even worse, what do I make for dinner?
Luckily, Hungry Root has one of those covered.
Hungry Root is like having your own personal shopper and nutritionist all wrapped in one. They'll take care of the weekly grocery shopping and recommend groceries and meals tailored to you.
Imagine a world where shopping, planning, and cooking food is simple and stress-free. That's a reality with Hungry Root.
Once you tell them about your goals and preferences, they fill your cart with personalized recommendations. And those recommendations get smarter as Hungry Root learns more about what you did or didn't like.
Most of Hungry Root's recipes can be made in just 15 minutes or less.
I complain about dinner and cooking and that kind of stuff constantly. And Hungry Root provides exactly the thing I'm complaining about's solution. Like they make a zesty chicken avocado sweet potato bowl that is exactly what I want at the end of the day, but would never, ever take the time to make. And with Hungry Root, it's just right there. It's waiting for you.
For a limited time, get 40% off your first order, plus get a free item in every box for life.
Go to hungryroot.com/MFM and use code MFM.
That's hungryroot.com/MFM, code MFM to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life.
Goodbye.
If you're always on the lookout for a great audiobook or just want help figuring out what to listen to next, there's a podcast you should know about.
It's called Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audio Book Club, hosted by Cal Penn.
Each episode takes a closer look at some of the most talked about new audiobooks on Audible, spanning a wide range of genres from sci-fi and literary fiction to rom-coms, thrillers, and comedy.
Cal is joined by guests who dig into what these stories are about, what makes them stand out as audiobooks, and why they're connecting with listeners right now.
If you're looking for your next listen, this is a great place to start.
Listen to Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audiobook Club on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Goodbye. The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And like, what if it turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
This one I was never going to do because I felt like everyone knew it. Like, I feel like I learned this in high school. Then I asked Vince if he knew it and he had never heard of it. So I thought maybe people don't. And then it also relates to what we were talking about last week of, people with privilege and affluenza and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is The Murder of Bobby Franks by Leopold and Loeb.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. And there's also a lot of information, even though I fucking have known about this forever, there's a lot of information I didn't know about. So
I also think this is one of those stories I feel like the cases that are, there's no reason behind it.
yeah.
Aren't as interesting because it's like because it leaves you with such a terrible feeling at the end.
Oh yeah. And this one totally does that.
It's just like, sorry, what?
Yeah.
What are you saying happened? Like, this is unimaginable.
Cold-blooded, and it's scary to think that there's people like that out there.
Yes.
Got info from crimereads.com, an article by Nina Barrett, the Chicago Sun-Times, the Smithsonian, article by Simon Spot, and also an article in the JewishStandard.com. May 21st, 1924, 14-year-old Bobby Franks, he's the son of a wealthy Chicago watch manufacturer. He leaves his after-school baseball game and begins to walk the 3 blocks home to his house in the Kenwood Estate neighborhood of Chicago. So Kenwood Estate is like fancy fucking schmancy. It's a mainly Jewish neighborhood, rich people, mansions. And in fact, the Obama family has a house there, used to live there.
Ooh.
So it's like hoity fucking doity.
It's fancy.
Yeah.
And are you saying it was always Jewish? It's Jewish now, or it was Jewish then?
At the time, it was like a lot of wealthy Jewish families lived there.
Cool.
Which Bobby Franks is one of them.
Okay.
When Bobby wasn't home by dinner, his father, Jacob Franks, begins calling Bobby's friends and then looking around the neighborhood for his son, but Bobby's nowhere to be found. At about 10 p.m., while Jacob is still out looking for his son, at home, his wife, Flora, gets a phone call, answers the phone, and a man who called himself Mr. Johnson tells Flora that Bobby had been kidnapped and to wait for a ransom letter the next day if they wanted to see Bobby alive again, and then hung up, and then Flora fainted. Straight up.
I bet.
So at around 8 a.m. the next morning, May 22nd, the frantic parents get a special delivery letter informing them that their son is still alive, but they have to deliver $10,000 ransom that afternoon in order to keep him safe and to stay tuned for more information. Stay tuned.
Well,
That's not it.
in a manner of speaking.
Sure. So at the same time that Jacob Franks is at the bank withdrawing the money as instructed in old $20 and $50 bills, 25 miles south of Chicago, a drain pump worker walking home along a desolate forest preserve on the outskirts of the city notices a foot sticking out of a nearby drainage pipe. Walking closer, he sees the naked body of a young boy, and with the help of some other men nearby, they retrieve the boy's body and call the police. And the body is eventually ID'd as that of Bobby Franks. So Bobby had large wounds to his forehead and to the back of his head, which the medical examiner said had come from a blunt instrument, but they didn't cause the boy's death. He also had large scratches on his back, and what would turn out to be hydrochloric acid had been poured on his face and genitals after death to obscure any recognition of him.
Okay.
The genitals.
At least it's after.
Yeah. It's so horrible. The genitals, because it's circumcision, how Jews get circumcised.
Oh, yeah.
So they wouldn't know who he was. It was concluded that the boy most likely died from having a sponge or rag pressed into his mouth. It's so awful. On May 26th, 5 days after being kidnapped, Bobby Franks was laid to rest with 8 of Bobby's friends acting as pallbearers.
Oh, no. Children?
I know.
Child pallbearers.
Yeah. And these kids, you know, they're little boys still. The 13-year-old, photos of Bobby Franks, he's just still a little boy. So at this point, the kidnapping and murder of a child from an affluent family, of course, becomes huge news and is on the cover of every newspaper. At the time, society had it in their heads that crime only affected poor people. There's this, class warfare kind of going on where it's like that happens to them and not us. And affluent people lived in this bubble that they believed was safe from this kind of violence. So it was really shocking.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where if it had been a poor child or a child of color, it would not have gotten any news coverage at all.
Yeah. That's the media doesn't, it's the overt not valuing of life in the equal way.
Exactly. So found at the scene was a pair of horn-rimmed eyeglasses that were found on the bank of the culvert. They were Bobby Frank's size, so the detectives assumed they belonged to Bobby, but his father was like, he didn't wear spectacles. Thankfully, that, was caught. And though the prescription and frame were really common, like everyone fucking wore the same kind back then, the spectacles had an unusual hinge mechanism that had only been purchased by 3 customers in Chicago. So they were able to trace those 3 people down.
You gotta love a clue like that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
And they were from New York. So they'd go to New York, find out what there was one store that sold those. And then they had to go through their records to find who bought them. And oh my God, how exciting.
So good.
Yeah. And so one of those people who purchased them was a 19-year-old named Nathan Leopold Jr. Okay. Spoiler alert. He's one of the killers. Okay. So let me tell you about Nathan Leopold Jr. Nathan is also from a wealthy and well-connected Jewish family in the Kenwood neighborhood. He lives a block away. His father was a businessman who had inherited a shipping company and made a second fortune in aluminum can and paper box manufacturing, which who knew?
That's big money.
Yeah. Nathan was a brilliant student. He enrolled at the University of Chicago at the age of 15.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. They said his IQ was something like 200.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think at the time, I'm sure it's measured differently than now, but he was an amateur ornithologist, meaning he was into birds. He had published 2 papers in the leading ornithological journal in the United States, and he was currently studying law at the University of Chicago and had just taken his entrance exams for Harvard Law School.
Nuts.
Yeah, so nuts.
He was like a Doogie Howser.
Yeah, but evil.
But bad, yeah.
The detectives initially thought it was so absurd that someone as well off and accomplished as Nathan could have had anything to do with the crime that in order to not embarrass the family and like draw attention, like have the press come and say he's a suspect, they took him in for questioning. Instead, at the state attorney's office, they took him to the LaSalle Hotel.
I mean,
Privilege.
It's that thing of the concern and care that goes into protecting the guilty if they have money.
That's right.
And I mean, this is just how it is and probably will always be unless very specific, like, laws are put into place where it's just like, like you already made that point, but I mean, that's like so far out of bounds.
Yeah.
And that's also that thing of like, oh, that's Jerry's son.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. You can
definitely,
that's going on.
I mean, at the same time, though, it probably was still so surprising that someone with that pedigree and like that smart, that intelligent, that hardworking, that he went to all these schools could have done something like that.
Yeah. I'm sure they were like, oh, this is just a formality. We just have to exclude you.
Yeah. So when questioned about his glasses being at the scene, Nathan Leopold said that they might have dropped out of his pocket during a birdwatching trip the previous weekend, which he was in fact there the previous weekend. It's somewhere he frequented a lot. And so they checked that out and they kind of didn't believe it. And meanwhile, state's attorney Robert Crowe searched Nathan's home and found nothing to connect him to the crime, but they did find a letter addressed to someone named Richard Loeb, which was sexually graphic and homosexual in nature. When Nathan used Richard Loeb as his alibi for the day of the kidnapping, saying that the two had gone out looking for girls that night, not knowing that one of their letters had been found, Crowe was suspicious because he was like, well, you're not into ladies.
Yeah.
So what, you using that as an alibi doesn't make any sense. So they bring in Richard Loeb for questioning.
What a turn.
Okay, let me tell you about Loeb. 18-year-old Richard Loeb was also smart as hell. He had graduated from high school at 14 years old and then entered the University of Chicago. His father was a vice president at Sears Roebuck and Company.
Uh-oh.
Like, come on.
These people are made of money.
Yeah.
That was back when like the Sears catalog was the only way anyone could get anything in the entire country.
That's right.
Like, want a Christmas present? Open that book.
It was Amazon. It was the Amazon.
The Amazon of the day.
Right. Richard was less ambitious than Nathan was. His grades weren't great. It seemed like he just was bored and didn't care. And at the end of his sophomore year, he transferred to the University of Michigan, where he spent more time. He played cards. He was drinking. He just wasn't interested in class. He was also obsessed with true crime. Weirdly, and loved reading dime store detective novels.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, he managed to graduate from Michigan, and he was the youngest graduate there ever. And in 1924, he was back in Chicago taking graduate classes in history at the university. So Richard is like this narcissistic fucking egomaniac who everyone is attracted to. He's really attractive. He's really charismatic. Everyone is drawn to him. He's great at talking. He's outgoing. Like type.
Yes.
And whereas Nathan Leopold is a little bit more nerdy and like withdrawn and kind of hates people. Okay,
I'm sorry, but isn't this just like the Sandy Bullock movie with Ryan Gosling and Michael Pitt, where they're the two guys and she's the detective investigating them, and it's the exact same setup?
Is it really?
It's basically the exact same setup when she suspects that they are responsible for the death of a kid in their high school.
What the fuck?
But then she also, I think, what the hell is it called? I wonder if they did that on
Must
purpose.
have.
But it's kind of that thing of who's manipulating who, because you think Ryan Gosling is the alpha that's
Right.
in charge, but then you're like, but is it actually Michael Pitt?
Yeah.
Who's the nerdy goth?
Right.
It's called Murder by Numbers, and it was loosely based on the Leopold and Loeb case.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Karen.
2002.
I didn't know that.
2002.
I didn't really know that.
Wow.
It's just that it's a Sandy Bullock movie, so of
And
course I love it.
Those are great. Those actors do kind of look like them. I had just put in that Richard Loeb, the handsome one, looked like a Jewish Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Matt McCarthy's joke.
Matt McCarthy, one of the great stand-ups and actors. You've seen him in so many commercials.
And you've heard him on the great podcast, We Watch Wrestling. Meanwhile, I said that Leopold looked like a young, handsome Tony Hale, but Jewish. And he had a hardcore unibrow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I find Tony Hale incredibly handsome.
See, it's like him, but like skinny and nerdy and kind of, they're both still handsome.
Yes.
But it was just like the awkward one.
Well, also, I think it's like the smart boy thing, like this smart outsider. Because when did they ever fit in if they were these kind of like, child phenoms or whatever that are going to college in high school?
Yeah, that's the thing. They didn't have friends because they were all so much older than them.
Yeah.
So they were awkward and shit. Okay. Richard confirmed Nathan's alibi, repeating the story of picking up girls in the car that evening. But Nathan's chauffeur came forward. And also they didn't have lawyers with them because their parents were so convinced they were innocent that they were like, just go talk to the police.
Just walk down to the old hotel and get interviewed by the police.
The parents were just like, this is absurd. Of course they're not. They have nothing to do with it. Their chauffeur comes forward and was like, guess what? The night in question, Nathan's car was parked in the family garage the entire night. It needed work and it wasn't running. So that lie of driving around also, couldn't have happened. It was also found that the handwriting on the ransom note envelope matched Nathan's handwriting perfectly, and the typewriter used for the ransom note matched the type of the typing on schoolwork turned in by Nathan. And those typewriters will give you away.
They will.
Right?
That's such a good, crime movie detail.
Yeah, they're such narcs.
You dropped an F.
I think there was a drop T and an F in this. Karen, psychic.
I actually think that I looked up this one to do in Chicago one time.
Yeah.
And then again, I was just like,
I'm surprised we haven't, actually.
I am too.
It's a good live show one.
It's such a legendary true crime case.
Vince had never heard of it.
I know, but I do think it's like inside. It's a little bit like a musician's type of story,
Definitely. It also turned out that Bobby Franks, the victim, was Nathan Leopold's second cousin.
Oh, no.
I know. He lived across the street from the Franks. Like, they lived right there.
Hate that.
I know. And Bobby played tennis at the Loeb house several times. So they, knew each other.
And he trusted his cousin implicitly, I'm
Exactly.
sure. Yeah.
So the young men were fucking cocky and arrogant with the detectives. This kind of, you can't touch us attitude. They thought their superior intellect would keep them from being arrested. But when they were brought back in for more questioning and the evidence against them was laid out, the confessions started. Here's some backstory. They had known each other casually while growing up, living down the street from each other and both being a part of the wealthiest Jewish families in Chicago. But Leopold and Loeb hadn't become friends until the summer of 1920. Richard and Nathan now began to hang out more and became close, even though they were total opposites. I told you, Loeb was super handsome, outgoing, extroverted, Leopold reclusive and aloof, and he seems to have become obsessed with the handsome Loeb. So Loeb, who was super cocky, would often kind of indulge himself in these pointless, destructive behaviors like stealing cars, setting fires, and smashing storefront windows, which Leopold was stoked on. And and Loeb was stoked that he found someone he could do this stuff with. So nerdy Leopold, was obsessed with Friedrich Nietzsche.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah.
That's so boring.
Does it make you feel smart?
You're so smart.
Talk about it some more.
Oh my God, talk all about it.
You're right. Nothing matters. You're right.
That's right. So he was obsessed with the idea of the Übermensch, which is the Superman, transcendent individuals possessing extraordinary, unusual capabilities. Basically, they're smarter than everyone else, so the laws don't apply to them at all, and moral laws don't apply to them either, and they can do whatever the fuck they want. They're not bound by any of society's normal ethics or rules.
That's a lie.
Nobody is.
That's a lie. You're telling yourself so you can throw a firebomb through the butcher's window again.
Look, stop going to the coffee house and fucking talking about Nietzsche and how great he is.
And then going next door and breaking a window like a dick.
It's not cool.
Stop it, Ryan Gosling.
The pair began asserting this theory of themselves with acts of petty theft and vandalism. They broke into one of their old fraternity houses, stole a bunch of shit, including a typewriter. Which they later used to write the ransom note.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
They were hopped up on adrenaline and not being caught, and they progressed to a series of more serious crimes like arson, but no one seemed to give a shit or notice. It wasn't in the papers, and they wanted attention. So they were disappointed with that, and they decided to plan and execute a sensational, quote, perfect crime that they thought would get them public attention and confirm themselves as these fucking holier than thou.
I mean, why not just go out into the middle of the street and scream, "Daddy, daddy, pay attention to me." Right? It's like, ultimately,
yeah,
they're just asking for someone to come and like backhand them and to be like, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
Or like tell them that they're smart and pretty.
Yes. I guess hitting is bad. That's not what anybody wants.
No.
But it is the kind, I think they do want discipline and attention and for someone to be in charge of them.
Well, they were raised by nannies. They all had their own chauffeurs and they had their own governesses and all that crap. So they probably didn't get a ton
governments, all their own governments.
They had like secret governments living in their house.
Well, yeah, they had everything except for love.
Right. So on the chosen day, that they planned this for months. On the chosen day, May 21st, 1924, driving a car that Leopold had rented under a fake name, the two men cruised around in the neighborhood near the grounds of the Harvard School for Boys in the Kenwood area. So they cruised around their own neighborhood. In their minds, they were like, we have to get someone rich. Otherwise, no one will pay attention.
Oh, well, they were right about that.
That's right. They were looking for a boy who was by himself. And by 5 p.m., they had almost given up because they hadn't found anyone when they spotted their victim, poor Bobby Franks. Being his second cousin, Loeb knew Bobby Franks well and was able to lure him into the car. Bobby at first refused. They were like, do you want to ride home? And he's like, I'm 4 houses away. And they were like, well, wait a second, get in. We want to ask you about some tennis rackets because Bobby was super into tennis. So he got in. Trustingly.
Of course.
So it's almost certain that Leopold was driving the car and that Richard Loeb sat in the back seat. And shortly after Bobby climbed into the front passenger seat and they started driving, Richard Loeb struck Bobby several times in the back of the head with the chisel and then dragged him into the back seat where he stuffed a rag into Bobby's mouth to stifle his cries. And that rag suffocated him. It's so awful. And they talk about how surprised they were at these crazy chisel blows and the blood, and he was still fighting, and they couldn't believe it. So they had to like pull him back there and kill him. They're just like so cold blooded.
Yeah, they're kind of looking at it in that super creepy, almost like as if they're doctors,
right? Like an experiment. Then they drove the body of Bobby Franks to their predetermined dumping spot outside of Chicago, stopping for hot dogs on the way.
Ugh.
How dare you?
On the way there.
With Bobby's body
and
under a blanket.
Full of blood. Oh my God.
In the back seat. Can you believe it?
They're not okay.
At the dump site, they removed Bobby's clothes, which they later burned. And then in an attempt to conceal his identification, they poured the hydrochloric acid on his face and genitals. Hydrochloric. They concealed the body in the culvert along the Pennsylvania road tracks. It was during this time that Nathan's glasses fell from his pocket, without which I don't think they would have ever been caught.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
There was nothing else.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm asking you.
Yes. Well, nothing else until they started looking into them. So if they hadn't had the glasses, they wouldn't have known to start looking into them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The next day, after sending the ransom note and making the threatening calls to the Franks family, their plan was abandoned when they found out that Bobby's body had been found. They didn't think he'd be found for months. So they were thinking they had all this time to do this stuff, but it quickly went south. Their perfect fucking crime.
Yeah.
They destroyed the evidence and they thought they had done everything right and just continued to live their normal lives, thinking they had gotten away with it.
God, that's another example of that. The special when two sociopaths come together. I mean, that That's what that feels like to me
Totally.
anyway.
You hope they'll never meet each other.
Yeah.
You'll have one person in every group has a conscience.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not these two.
Yeah. You and I have too much. That's not true. Stephen's our conscience. So Richard Loeb confessed first. He insisted that Nathan Leopold had planned everything and killed Franks in the back seat of the car while Loeb drove. Leopold confessed as well, insisting that he was the driver and Loeb was the murderer. Their confessions otherwise corroborated most of the evidence in the case. So the question of why they would do such a thing made the case just this huge sensation, as we still want to know.
Yeah.
Both admitted that they were driven by their thrill of seeking the Ubermensch delusions and their aspirations to commit a perfect crime. Leopold admitted interest in learning what it would like to feel like to be a murderer. And he said later he was disappointed to note that he felt the same as ever.
Wow.
Nihilism.
Super sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nihilism.
yeah.
Sociopaths.
Iffy.
Ick.
Yeah, it's just like if you don't have a conscience
Right.
and you don't have morals, then of course it's going to feel the same before and after because you don't care about anything.
No, you don't have a fluctuation of emotions.
Yeah.
Okay. The question of why two young, well-educated boys from wealthy families would kill for no apparent reason fascinated the public, and add to that the young age of the victim, the brutality of the crime, and the confessions made this murder front page news all over the world. Plus, it was during a time in the 1920s when many people thought society was falling apart because everything was fucking going haywire. People, you know, ladies were cutting their hair short and wearing shorter skirts, and they called it, the newspapers attributed to murder to the jazz life, quote, as they called it.
Sure.
Yeah. So the third case ever to be characterized at the time as the crime of the century. The families of Leopold and Loeb, who were both to be tried together, hired Clarence Darrow, who's one of the most renowned criminal defense lawyers in the country at the time, to represent Nathan and Richard. He's the one who later did the Scopes monkey trial.
Yeah.
Part of the reason that Clarence Darrow took the case is because he was a staunch opponent of the death penalty, and everyone was just completely convinced that these boys were going to get the death penalty. The trial would provide him with the means to persuade the American public that the death penalty just didn't belong in the modern judicial system. So he took it for that reason, and he also probably got paid a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So instead of pleading not guilty by reason of insanity, which would have led to a jury trial and a probable death sentence, Darrow decided to plead them guilty, which surprised everyone, and throw them on the mercy of the court. This fucking trial is super long and super detailed, and I urge you to go read the Smithsonian article if you want to know the nitty-gritty details. Let's skip forward a little, shall we?
Sure.
This is already 7 pages.
We are the Cliff's Notes of podcasting. We are not here to get down and dirty.
Oh my God.
That's for the educated journalists to do for you.
That's right.
Don't let us translate. Just go do it yourself.
So many people have written beautiful articles about this.
Oh.
We're not going to do any better.
People with college educations.
Yeah. Okay. On August 22nd, 1924, Clarence Darrow gives his final summation that lasted about 2 hours.
What?
Can you imagine?
Really?
Uh-huh. And is considered one of the best speeches of his life.
Doubtful.
Yawn.
Oh, of his life.
Yeah.
Because most of them were 4 hours. So people were like, ooh, he got in and he got out on this one.
Concise.
Oh.
On September 10th, 1924, Judge John R. Caverly sentenced both men to life imprisonment for murder and an additional 99 years for the kidnapping. They were sent to the same prison, Leopold and Loeb, where they were able to maintain a friendship.
Nice.
While locked up.
Okay.
Together, they worked on expanding the prison school system and taught other inmates at Stateville Penitentiary.
Oh.
So they tried to do some good while in there.
That's nice.
I guess.
Sure.
But on January 28th, 1936, 30-year-old Richard Loeb was attacked by a fellow inmate with a straight razor.
Yes, he was.
And he died.
Yeah.
The inmate claimed that Loeb had assaulted him, though he was unharmed, while Loeb sustained more than 50 wounds, including defensive wounds on his hands and arms, and his throat had also been slashed from behind.
They're not, jailhouse justice says that you can't kill children. They just can't have it. It's most most inmates have trauma from their childhood.
Yeah.
So when pedophiles come in and when child murderers come in, they just don't, they have a clock on their head.
That's a good point.
I mean, that's real. It's always been true. It's just like, oh, perfect. Some vengeance for me.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Nathan Leopold became a model prisoner, though. And after 33 years and numerous unsuccessful parole petitions, Nathan Leopold was released in March of 1958.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
He moved to Puerto Rico.
Okay. Smart.
Yeah. Got married and earned a master's degree at the University of Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And then taught classes there. He went on to do all kinds of crazy shit. It's too long for me to even list. But like good stuff, you know, and advanced.
I was just like, what?
Like advanced this and advanced
he sewed
that.
bird heads onto little.
No. Like in the field of education.
Okay.
He did good things.
Okay.
But, you know, yeah. On August 29th, 1971, at the age of 66, Nathan Leopold died of natural causes in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
The whereabouts of both Nathan and Richard's remains are unknown. Their families hid them and did something with them.
Yeah.
So no one could, like, you know, hunt them down. I don't know. So no one could desecrate their graves or whatever.
Right.
But the grave sites of the three families whose lives were ruined by the acts of Nathan Leopold and Richard Loeb, the Franks family and the Leopold and Loeb families, because all their lives were just fucking ruined after this, are all within a short walk of each other at the Rose Hill Cemetery in Chicago, including the 14-year-old murder victim who became lost in the sensation of his own murder investigation, the subsequent trial, the news, the media, all this sensation. He was lost in it. And that's Bobby Franks.
Yeah.
And that is the murder of Bobby Franks by Nathan Leopold and Richard Loeb.
Wow. That's so fascinating.
Right?
Yeah.
I had pictured it so differently in my head that I'd never bothered to like read up on it as an adult.
The aspect that they were from super rich families makes it so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like the super rich people are already fascinating. It's like, the lives of the rich and famous or whatever. So everybody already has that kind of like the fascination of like what does go on behind those closed doors.
Right.
And then it is a little bit of that indicator of like, I think a thing that reason people focus on that is because it is this thing of it's just more and more proof you can amass all the wealth that you want and it will not make you happy. It won't make your children happy.
Totally.
Like it does. It's no guarantee of a happy life. It just isn't. It's a guarantee of not having to worry about bullshit that's making you crazy.
Right.
But it doesn't flip you over into happy necessarily or like warmth, or I think a lot of times it really fucks families up or can make it. Those boys weren't just super smart and sociopaths. There's a chance they weren't sociopaths.
Yeah.
There's a chance they were just deeply ignored and felt like nothing they did mattered.
Well, there's a chance, and one of the things brought up at the trial was that one of them, I can't remember which, was sexually molested as a child by the governess, his governess.
Oh.
So there's that. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff going on. And I think at the time, everyone was so obsessed with this American dream, you know, and to see some people who had it and who had all the money in the world and what everyone else, you know, desired, and they still couldn't fucking make it happen and put it together and, you know, live normal lives.
Right.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
And once the Franks lost their child, it didn't matter how much money they had.
Right.
Because their child was dead.
Yeah, that's their story's a sad story.
Yeah.
The mom like couldn't come to terms with it. She would be like, Bobby's coming home soon.
Oh,
I know. It's really sad.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
Amazing. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it is funny. There's so many of those. We have some of those outstanding dangling ones where just, it's funny that they would be famous enough, at least to us, people that follow true crime. You're just like, oh shit, that's right. We've never done this one.
And I didn't know all the details. I thought I knew.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Those details are just...
Yeah, I'll never do it.
It's just sickening.
I know.
And it starts sickening, it gets worse, and then it's just depravity and depressing and
tragic.
And then everybody's bad.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's bad in that story.
Totally.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Ugh. How about a fucking hooray?
How about it?
If we've ever needed a fucking hooray, it's this week.
That's right. You want to go first?
Sure. Well, I finally started watching, and this is mild, but I finally started watching High Maintenance, the HBO show.
So good.
You've been telling me to watch it for a long time. I saw the dog episode, which was, it was so well shot.
Guys, go watch the dog episode of High Maintenance and then cry your fucking eyes out.
But also watch every episode, because what I started really getting, and I am in this thing right now where I'm not doing anything and I'm binging a lot of TV. So I'm like, things are seeming very deep, when actually it's just, I need to get off the couch. But it's his whole approach, this Zen approach. I'm always very fascinated by people like that. This character. It's very believable and viable, where he's just kind of like, it also makes me really badly wish I lived in New York City.
Really?
Yeah, because in New York City, you can leave your apartment and walk directly like down a set of stairs and be in the coolest city on earth.
Yeah, or a great neighborhood with life.
People all around you, something happening. And it's just such a the show itself is just this fascinating study of participating in life. There's one point where he breaks his arm and he has to have a guy help him deliver weed. And at one point the guy goes, "Can't I just call the people to come down and just pick it up, get in the car?" And he goes, "You can, but then you don't go to the apartments. That's the best part." And there's part of me is like, oh my God, no. But then it's like, no, that's just it. He's kind of this Zen master that's just trying to meet people and hang out and
observe,
help people have fun and relax, and everyone needs it for whatever their reason is.
Yeah.
Just amazing, great storytelling, beautiful cinematography. I love that show. I can't believe no one talks about that show.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Speaking of great shows, can we plug our friend of the podcast comedy show right now? Fortune Feimster. Just came out.
Her stand-up special?
Her stand-up special called Sweet and Salty just came out on Netflix. She's one of the fucking funniest people. If you don't follow her on Instagram and watch her
Tam?
Branda and Tam videos, you are missing out. Wait, listen.
Hi, y'all. I'm back. It's me, Brenda, and I just want to show y'all what Tim got me for Christmas. He got me this turquoise necklace.
Turquoise necklace.
Yeah, you have to watch that.
It's her stand-up special. She shot it back in her hometown, and Paige Hurwitz, my friend, it produced it for her. So I got to see some of the promos before they aired. Fortune's one of those people. The first time I saw her do stand-up, I was just like, this girl has to be known. She's just a delight.
Yeah.
And she's a friend of the podcast.
That's right. She listens and she loves it.
We love you, Fortune. Congratulations on your, I believe it's her first hour special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my fucking hooray is today's 3 weeks.
Nice.
I can't fucking believe it. I can't believe I haven't had a drink.
Love it. Congratulations.
It's so crazy to me. Thank you.
So nice.
It's so nice. I feel good. I'm not exhausted all the time. I'm sleeping well. I'm losing weight, which is a bonus.
Yeah.
It's just, and I'm not eating trash all the time. It feels incredible, and I'm just kind of in awe of it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's nice. It's also good. I think it feels good to do something in a sustained way. I feel like everything I do is 4 days and I'm out.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. I learned my lesson. Peace.
Right. This is not like me at all.
Yeah.
I'm an impatient person, and I am go, go, go. This feels like, I have to be kind of zen and go day by day, and it's really fucking hard, but every day I wake up and it's worth it.
Well, and that is kind of to combine both of ours together. It's you kind of have to figure out what the point of your life is going to be.
Totally.
And basically how you're going to get there, because go, go, go does not get you anywhere.
Right.
Go, go, go is a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Just like laying on the couch is a coping mechanism. And what we have to do, I think ultimately, is figure out what we can do past when we stop coping and start realizing that those problems aren't actually there.
Right.
And you're kind of punching at ghosts, and you need, and you can pick other things to do to deal with life. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's not as hard. You can just get in there and fight the good fight on the daily.
Yeah. There's a new way to do it. especially if the way you've been doing it isn't working for you anymore.
And
Yeah.
And you get to keep doing it past when it's not working because that's what everyone does.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up extra. Just like when you start doing it, you can really take every minute you're not drinking, you can reinvest into yourself. It's more reason to prove to yourself of like, oh yeah, I can do. Every once in a while, I'll do that. I'll remember that I've stopped drinking for a very long time, or there's lots of things I've gotten myself through
that's the kind of person you are, not the person you keep telling yourself you are.
Yeah, it's weird. The storyline does not, my personal storyline does not include any victories. It's very ridiculous and dark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're all rooting for you and we think you're victorious.
Thank you.
This is maybe one of the first times I'm legitimately proud of myself in a long time.
As you should be. Because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's also hard. We know the shape of going back into a thing. Like, it's basically like getting back under the covers kind of feeling when you want to do it. And you know the sum total of that. And what's really cool is right now you're exploring brand new territory of not doing it. And then what happens? Because the story is you have to do it or the world will explode. And every time you do it, continue to not do it and the world doesn't explode, you're basically redefining how things work for yourself.
I love that.
It's nice, huh?
Yeah, it is really nice.
Yeah. As a person who thought I would never be able to stop drinking, when I did, it really was quite something.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And I'm definitely taking inspiration from you and the fact that you could do that. It's incredible.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also an episode of the podcast called The Lonely Brain, which I found very pleasant.
Oh.
It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Thanks.
Give it up.
Thanks for listening. You guys are the fucking best.
Thanks, you guys, for listening, for always being there, for always finding fun stuff in this show. It's so funny, like the week after a new episode comes out, when people would just be like, did you hear yourself say this?
Right. Or draw us as hot dogs or something.
Oh my, is that, that's the guy that also did Mount Rushmore, right?
It's, Mark Glasgow, I believe his name is.
Mark Glasgow.
Thanks, Mark Glasgow.
He sends us like just little sketchings and things that he does as he listens, and he drew us both as hot dogs.
It's on My Favorite Murder Instagram.
Quite disturbing.
Pleasantly disturbing.
Wonderfully, deliciously disturbing.
We love it. We love this.
Thank you. Stay sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Goodbye.
Elvis, do you want a cookie?
If audiobooks are your thing, or if you've been meaning to listen to more of them, you should check out a podcast called Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audiobook Club, hosted by Cal Penn.
Each episode spotlights standout audiobooks on Audible across all kinds of genres: sci-fi, comedy, romance, thrillers, and more, with Cal talking to guests who help break down what makes each story worth listening to.
It's a fun, easy way to discover your next great audiobook.
Check out Earsay on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Goodbye.
The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's U.S.-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people, is that long-term contract. And like, what if it turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like, at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye. Cheap Caribbean's Jet Set July sale is here.
Right now, save $200 on vacation packages of 4 nights or more with promo code 200BEACH.
Whether you're dreaming of Cancun, Jamaica, or the Dominican Republic, your next vacay just got more affordable.
Don't let summer pass you by without the beach.
Use promo code 200BEACH and get more sand for your dollar.
Head to cheapcaribbean.com today to book your beach vacay.
Goodbye.